What's going on, everybody? My name is Sam. I also go by Ruby T, and this is part 2 of our Pokemon Scarlet Hardcore Nuzlocke blind. And last time out, we just defeated the first gym, and it was time for us to kick on with the story. As you can see, while you were away, I managed to catch us a shiny Houndour. Or Houndour, however you say that, which has got the name Seth. Now, I call a regular Houndour because I stumbled back into that cave where you find the dragons from, and then when I was EV trading in there, I stumbled across a shiny one. So as per the shiny clause, I can replace any Pokemon that we've caught in the Nuzlocke with its shiny equivalent if I find it. Anywho, it was time for us to kick on with the adventure with these 4 Pokemon by our sides. We had the Houndour, named Seth, we had Trunks, the little crocodile, we had Wolfender, the Knackley, and we had Hef, the weird dog thing. The first step on the next stage of our journey was to talk to a weird long-haired Arwen guy, who, he's not weird because he has long hair, he's just a weird guy who happens to also have long hair, by the way, just to clear that up before anyone gets upset with me. And he said we needed to head out into this desert to find a big crab Pokemon. I thought, and yeah, a funny story here, I thought that this massive crab thing would be the big crab Titan Pokemon. Having not played the Pokemon Legends Arceus games, I didn't realise quite how big the Titan Pokemon were. Anyway, I struggled to kill this solitary large crab, which turned out to be not the large crab that you need to kill. It also turns out it has a terrifying ability called Anger Shell, which is essentially like Shell Smash. So it raises like attack speed, special attack in lieu of defenses. But we just about managed to get through it. So luckily we wouldn't have to fight one of those again. Until now, when we find the absolutely humongous freaking crab thing that jumps off the wall and attacks us. So Hef the dog has the ability Intimidate, which is pretty nice. Since this thing appeared to be a physical attacker, I thought that was a pretty good thing. And it's a rock type, so I figured we'd probably do okay against it with our dark type. However, it turns out this thing had Rock Smash, which was pretty worrying, but we didn't get a defense drop on the first turn. So I thought we'd be okay to stay in, it wasn't doing too much damage. And then we got blocked, which means Hef could not escape, which means he is stuck in against this massive crab that knows Rock Smash. A couple of bites are doing good damage, almost half, so I know 2 more bites is going to put it in range. Rock Smash hits us, we can survive one more, apart from we get a defense drop, and poor Hef is now seriously in trouble. I try and think of anything we can do to get out of this, but unfortunately, yeah, we lose another Pokemon already. It's the 3rd Pokemon we've lost. I'm sorry, guys. It's not a great look, I know. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do. I go into Wolfender, who's got really huge defenses, and after its Intimidate, I know it can take anything this crab can throw at it. So we then follow that we have to chase the crab around until Arwen, not to be confused with Arwen from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we managed to like double team the big crab. And thankfully, very thankfully, between his Shelder and our Knackley, Wolfender the Knackley, we're able to take this thing down with only the 1 loss, which is, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not good because the Hef the dog was going to be really useful in the next gym, I imagine. We share this sandwich with the dragon, because that's what Pokemon is now, and we pick up some items and head on to the next town to take on the gym challenge followed by the gym battle. Now, for this gym challenge, it's a little bit different to the last one where we had to push an olive around. This time, we had to gather some sunflowers, and here they are, looking all smiley and happy. How can you be sad about losing a Pokemon when you're walking around with 10 sunflowers? And it's not really frustrating or anything, it takes ages to complete, and it's really annoying because the sunflowers get stuck behind hedges and mazes and yeah. Anyway, once that was done, it was time for us to level up some Pokemon. While doing so, we stumbled across a new area, and I was able to catch this Tandemaus, and as we rolled the dice to see which person would be named after, it was you, Mel. Well done, congratulations. Unfortunately, Tandemaus was too high level for us to use for this gym battle, so we were going into it with just the 3 Pokemon we had here. So yeah, it was always going to be tough, and but thankfully it was a grass gym, so we had 2 fire type Pokemon along with our rock type, so I felt pretty confident that we should be able to at least do well. First up was Petlil, sent out against Shiny Seth. Sidebar, by the way, Houndour and Houndoom are like some of my favourite Pokemon in the whole wide world, so if anything happens to Seth, I'm going to cry. And Ember doesn't quite do enough, and we get put to sleep. Thankfully for us, this Seth has Early Bird as its ability. However, we don't wake up turn 1, and we get hit with a pretty soft Mega Drain, which gives Petlil a little bit of health back, but that little bit of health that it got back is not going to be enough to... No, the second one didn't work. It's not going to be enough to save it, and an Ember takes it down. Obviously, as I mentioned before, you cannot turn off the switching mechanic in this game, so we have to say no every time. Smoliv comes out, and Smoliv is demolished by another Ember. And it's time for the gym leader's ace, who sends out the non-grass type, rock type Sudowoodo, which is pretty bad news. Seth has got a plus special attack but minus defense nature, which means we are definitely not going to be taking any rock type attacks from this Sudowoodo. So I racked my brains thinking of things that we can do. Remember, I'm going into this blind, so I couldn't really prepare for the fact that there would be a Sudowoodo. So what I decide to go into Knackley to take what was almost certain to be a rock type attack. The Sudowoodo, after the guy points a weird branch at it, it is time for it to terrestrialize. I still can't say that. I'm just going to maybe terror evolve. Turns into a flower, which means it becomes the grass type. So the rock throw is no longer stab, I think, maybe, not really sure. And so now I'm expecting a grass type move to come out from this thing. So I switch into the newly evolved Trunks to take what I presume will be a grass type move. I know that I'm going to outspeed the Sudowoodo because Sudowoodo is dead slow. It hits me with a Trail Blaze, which appears to be some sort of new grass type attack, which raises its speed, which is very, very, very bad news because the crocodile that is Trunks is not the fastest Pokemon in the world anyway, which now means that Sudowoodo is going to outspeed Trunks. Hits us with a very hard rock throw. Incinerate does enough damage to take it out, apart from the fact that stupid Sudowoodo's got stupid Sturdy, which means we are now in big trouble. I think about switching into Wolfender, the rock type, to take the rock type attack, so that maybe we can kind of get through this without losing a Pokemon. However, the problem is it's going to be slower than the crocodile already, and so it's going to move second, which means we're going to get hit with the grass attack, which is almost certainly going to kill it, which means the Sudowoodo is then going to get another speed boost, which would mean that then we would go back into Seth or Trunks, and neither of them would outspeed, and we would definitely lose the run, which meant there was only one thing to do. Hope for a rock throw miss, and you'll never guess what happened. Not that we lost. Yeah, I lost another Pokemon. Sorry, Trunks. But you're dead. I'm sorry. Anyway, it means we can go into Seth, who shines bright like a dog, and is enough to outspeed, and we take out the Sudowoodo, losing Trunks but saving the run in the process. And all for what, I ask you? All for what? So we can take a weird picture with a man who continuously shouts avant-garde at us with no real kind of thought for what avant-garde actually means and no real actual useful dialogue? Yes, that's exactly why. We have our photo taken and it raises our level cap up to 24, which means we can move. Whilst we have to lose the crocodile, we do gain Mel and we do gain Rhett, so we're up to a team of 4, which is pretty nice. Rhett has also evolved into Corvisquire, so he's a pretty strong member of this team, which is pretty swell, I would say. Once we leave the gym, we head out into Route Area South something or other 5. Thankfully, I have Gemma to help me keep a track of what we've been catching. We run into this Deerling, which very nearly kills our entire team. But thankfully we managed to catch it in this Heal Ball, and Sasori got drawn this time, so Sasso, the Deerling, joins the team. We're now up to 5, which is easily the highest number of Pokemon we've had at any one time during this run, and it's pretty nice to have a grass type because we kind of yeah, it's something we've been lacking. Once we get a water type, we can complete that fire water grass core and things will look very nice. I gave them all the nice EV boosting items that I bought from the shop, and we headed for our next challenge, which was the Flying Titan up on top of a very, very, very large mountain. Anywho, once I worked out where that was, looked at Josh's guidance for which things to do next, we headed off down the road towards the Flying Titan, riding our weird sandwich eating dragon along the way. Scooting past some Mareep, we ended up in West Area 1, where we faced a Mankey to be our first encounter. I love Mankey, and I love Primate. They are some of my favourite Pokemon as well. I love Gen 1 Pokemon, if you can't tell, and Gen 2 as well, kind of. We catch it, and Hef got re-rolled again, so welcome back, Hef. You're back in it. Congratulations. Now, I should make a spoiler note at this point. Don't get attached to anybody. We ran up this hill, dodging boulders along the way, and again, like, I know there's been a lot of hate for these games. I am absolutely loving it. Like, even these little almost like mini game things where you got to like dodge boulders and sprint up stuff, and you can ride the dragon around and dive off of things, and just, yeah, it's so good. Anyway, reach the top of this hill, look around like some sort of lost weirdo, as if we can't possibly see this absolutely gigantic bird that we pretend we can't see for some reason. Anyway, this time around, I'm prepared for what a Titan battle looks like. So I know that for a flying type Titan battle, I can actually check on my map the type that the Titan's going to be. So I go into it with my Terra Rock Knackley. And the wing attack from this Bombardier doesn't do much damage, and I hit a really hard smackdown, doing over half of this Titan's health in one go. And I put the Shell Bell onto Wolf End of the Knackley, so we're getting some health back as we go. Wing attack is still doing no damage, and the smackdown brings the Titan down to its little bit of health. And then once again, old Arwen, he decides, oh, now Sam's done the hard work. Now Ruby T's done all the hard work, put his Pokemon at risk. Now I'll turn up. I'll just wander in, watch this weird bird eat some weird, like, green stuff off the floor, which, to be fair, birds would do. And then he turns up and decides to help us out. And this time, not only does he copy what we're wearing, he's got the same like trousers on, he's got his like weird, although he's got a kind of nice like jacket thing, which maybe we should have. But not only does he copy what we're wearing, not only does he turn up late and pretend like he's the one who's taken on these stupid Titans, he brings the same Pokemon as us as well. We both got little Knackleys. Anyway, like, yeah, I could be mad at him, but it's kind of cool. Like two little like rock mushrooms taking on this big old bird. Anyway, we Terra Rock again, because for some reason in Titan battles you're allowed to Terra Evolve twice, even though I thought you had to go to the Pokemon Center to recharge it, but whatever. We hit with a Torment, which is kind of annoying because we can't use Smackdown twice in a row. But Smackdown still does over half the health of the Bombardier. We get some of our own health back with the Shell Bell, and then a Rock Throw from our colleagues Knackley does some pretty good damage as well. And after another Headbutt from us, and another Smackdown this time from the other Knackley, the bird is down. We didn't lose anybody. It's the first major battle apart from the Bug Gym where we didn't lose anybody, so well done us. Anyway, my anger at our friend Arwen is immediately resolved as we sit through genuinely the most touching and sad Pokemon story I've ever seen in my life, as we learn that Arwen is collecting the Herba Mystica to try to save the life of his doggy, which is genuinely the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I swear to God, I don't know what happens at the end of this, okay, but if something happens to this dog, I'm gonna be really angry. So Game Freak, please don't tell me that this freaking dog gets hurt, because I'm gonna be pissed. Look at his face. He deserves the whole wide world. What a good doggy. Oh. Anyway, we have to get on with the show, and the next thing for us to do is to find the Dark Star base. Team Star are some students from the school that we go to for 2 minutes at the start of this game, who apparently have like gone rogue or whatever. And because it's Pokemon, they built some like whole base and stuff. And yeah, they're very scary because they do this, and they do this, and they, yeah, they're not very scary. Anyway, once we'd watched them make stars with their hands for a little while, we entered the base and do the extraordinarily confusing, weird thing where we run around with Hef and the gang and Seth and Rhett and we just like bop stuff, but I don't really know anything. It's really confusing. Also, it kind of stressed me out. Anyway, it was time for the boss battle in the Star base. He comes riding out on this weird, like, freaking car thing, which it turns out is a Pokemon, but is also a car slash a tractor. thing. And this guy's got headphones and a laptop because he's like edgy or something, I don't know. But anyway, he sends out Pawnyard, I send out Mankey, easy, just going to do a low kick, take it out, double super effective, I've got good attack power, and that'll be it. Wrong! Somehow, Pawnyard outspeeds and kills us with an aerial ace. I had a look at what's going on, we have a negative speed nature, but I thought Pawnyard was like slow as balls. Yeah, sorry, Hef. Anyway, I hit the Pawnyard with an Incinerate, and it turns out the next Pokemon is the car, which is like a Titan or something. Honestly, I don't know. It's a dark type. I switch out. I go into Ret just to kind of scout what's going on, because I didn't know if this is a physical attacker or not, and we have no physical defense on Seth. We get hit with a metal sound, so I figure this thing is maybe a special attacker, so I'm kind of trying to work out, like, can I afford to stay in? Do I have to switch? In the end, I decided to just go for a pluck. It hits us with a snarl, which doesn't do quite half, but I know I'm definitely within crit range now, so I'm going to have to switch out. Again, to reiterate, I have absolutely no clue what this Pokemon is or does or anything, so I go into Mel. We get hit with another snarl. Our special attack falls. It's not an ideal situation, I'm not going to lie, so I figure I'll go for a Super Fang. To at least half this thing's damage. We hit with a Wicked Talk, we don't quite die. Super Fang does not do what Super Fang is supposed to do, so I'm guessing this is like a Titan thing. Anyway, I go into Sasori the Dealing, get hit with a Swift, which means I'm pretty confident we can maybe like survive one more attack here with Dealing. So I go for the super effective double kick. We get hit with a Metal Sound, which lowers our special defense harshly. The double kick does double nothing, but we are chipping away at this thing. So as you can see, I've sped the battle up because this took a long time. We go into Nacli and take another Metal Sound, which means our special defense is lowered, so I can't stay in because I just can't trust it. We're not going to take too much damage. We get hit, we get a Snarl misses, which means we get a free chance to get off an Incinerate. We get hit with a Metal Sound, lowering our special defense, but now we are cooking with gas. However, again, to reiterate, Seth has no defenses whatsoever, so even a Swift at -2 is going to do a lot of damage. Metal Sound and Swift combination don't do too much to this Nacli. But again, I have to switch out because I can't take a Snarl at -2, I don't think. Go back into the Houndour, go for an Incinerate because we're pretty safe. Metal Sound misses, which means we have the ability to stay in for 2 turns in a row and possibly even catch our breath at some point, and we take down the stupid car thing. And we defeated it, only losing one more Pokemon. Anyway, in preparation for the gym and the next episode, where there's 2 more routes where I can get encounters with levels low enough for me to use. So we catch Wingull and Trunks gets re-rolled and is caught. Take him into the party until I find this thing. Run around this area, we run into this Cyclozar, which is a normal lizard type, which looks like a bike or something. I don't know, it's really cool. It got rolled as Ruby G, which is Gemma's Twitch account. So welcome to the team Cyclozar, welcome to the team Wingull. We have 7 usable Pokemon right now, and things are on the up, ready for the electric gym at the start of the next episode. So yeah, thank you all so much for sitting through this and watching. I hope you're enjoying the series. The last video did really well, so yeah, thank you guys like loads for watching it. It's awesome that you want to watch this stuff and watch me play these games, so thank you. Anyway, much love, and I'll see you whenever I am able to play enough of the game to do the next episode. Bye.